Hello everyone and welcome to a speed build. Today we are building a modern seaside home, and it's kind of like a family home. It's not like super family home because it's not like so much space for a family, you know, like backyard and all the kids' toys and that sort of thing. But I think you can get a family in here, maybe a slightly older family, and it is by the seaside in San Sequoia. This is one of my favourite lots to build on. I like this lot because it is a wide lot, so that's quite nice, and I thought that actually really suited the shape of the shell. Now you'll notice that I did not build the shell myself, and that's because this lovely modern seaside home is actually a shell challenge brought to me by the obsessed simmer, my little buddy, who I absolutely adore. And if you haven't seen her channel, she's got all sorts of challenges and builds, and she's amazing. I love her Scottish accent as well. This is me talking about accents. I believe I might have one as well. But she's fabulous. So check out the obsessed simmer if you haven't. And I am doing her challenge today. Now, this is the second time I have done the shell challenge, simply because the first time around I didn't read the rules. And I kind of cheated a little bit. I wasn't supposed to build exterior walls, and I did. So in this build, I am not building any exterior walls. I did do some little extra walls around the back, but that's going to be simply a building thing. I will delete them. They're not staying there. And at the moment, I am working on the shape of the build. Now, this is a limited pack build. I believe I'm just doing EPs. All the expansion packs, but I'm not doing anything else, I don't think. Pretty certain that's the case. And I'm just doing the columns at the moment, so I think I'm using is it the Discover University or High School Years, one of the two. One of the schooly type pack columns. And I have shaped up some balconies, porches, verandas, whatever you want to call them. And I'm just working on the colour of the roof at the moment. So I was looking at putting some eco roof in there. I don't know if I keep that. And then I'm just working on a little bit of a porch around the back. And then there's going to be like a pool around the side there, but I haven't quite got there yet. So just working on the fencing. And I actually really like this fencing. It's one of my favourite fences. It is from a pack I think it must be an expansion pack. I can't remember. I think it's like Get Together or something, maybe. But it has like the little bit of greenery on it, which I think is quite neat when you get it on the corners and stuff. You might be able to see that there. And I am getting towards the end of how I'm going to end up shaping this. So I'm actually really happy with how this is turning out. And then I've got the fun job of trying to work out what colours I want to do. So this is me just working on the pool and deciding how I want to shape that. I wasn't too sure if I wanted to do like all the way across or like around the side of the building, or how I wanted to do it. So this is just sort of me working on the fencing, and then like, no, that's silly. That triangle there is completely pointless, so I'll just fill that in, and then just have a little bit of space down the bottom for sitting by the pool. I actually really like that we had that update with Ranch, Horse Ranch, and we got all those updates to the base game, like paving and stuff like that. I mean, that's just brilliant. I love it. And this is actually one of the updated colours that came with Horse Ranch before Horse Ranch. It didn't come with Horse Ranch because it's base game, but yeah. And I really like it. I think there's some actually really nice colours and stuff in that lot. So I was actually quite impressed with that. So in terms of the colour of the outside of the build, so I was thinking, because it is modern, I'm going to do like a few different colours. So I'm just working out what colours exactly those are going to be. So I'm going with the black growing together colours in the middle, in the centre there. So it's going to have like the shingle on the roof bit, and then the plain black wood on the outside, and then I'm doing a bit of white, I think. So I'm using Eco Living Brown, so I'm using those in a couple of places. I actually really like that on a modern build. It just adds like you know, a texture to it, which I think is really nice. So using that colour, I think I'm using white, or is it tan? So I think that's about what we're doing there. So black, white, the Eco Living mixed sort of browns, and a lighter brown as well. I'm using the Snowy Escape windows because I love those windows, and I didn't want to do like a full pane. You know how you have like with Eco Living or a base game, there's like the full pane ones that take up the whole wall. I didn't actually want that for this, simply because I wanted to still show off the colour of the walls. That's basically why, and they actually fit really nicely in this top area too. Except I had to sort of place them at the same height in this back wall, and it took me a little bit of fussing around and just working out how I was going to get that all sitting at the same height, because they weren't snapping at that height when I didn't have like the cut off of the platform in front of the roof in front of the room. So then it's just working on the door. I think I go with the growing together doors because they are. I love those doors. I think they are really good modern home doors. So they are one of my go-to doors for modern homes. I do think I go with those. Yep, I do. And some more of the Snowy Living windows going in there. So I think I'm just trying to think how I laid that out. Pretty sure it'll be the kitchen off to the right, and then there's a bedroom off to the left, and then the living room off to the left as well. So this is me just having to think about how the stairs were going to work in this, because yeah, as I said, there's the two separate rooms on the top level, so that's a little bit tricksy there. And yeah, I was just trying to work out the best way to get the stairs to sit, and whether or not I could fit in 2 lots of stairs, but my answer was no, I can't. But that's fine. Because if you're going up the stairs, you just go up and across, so not a big deal. So this is me coming up with the floor plan for the build. So I am just working on how I'm going to lay this out. So I'm actually going to have 2 bedrooms on the bottom floor, and there's going to be a bathroom between them. So this is one of the bedrooms here, and then an odd-shaped bathroom, and then a second bedroom down there, which is going to be a kid's room. Upstairs, I'm actually going to turn this little space into a gym. I did consider turning it into a study, so that was another option, and it could have been another bedroom, but I thought a gym might be quite nice, just to do something a little bit different. And this will be the master bedroom up here as well, and it's got a lovely view of the ocean. And that's going to have a walk-in wardrobe as well as an ensuite up there. So there's going to be a 2 bathroom, 3 bedroom home with a good sized living area and a nice kitchen and dining sort of area too. I think it ended up looking quite nice. So I am just getting a bit of the exterior decoration done now. So I'm going with one of my very favourite couches on the outside. Don't ask me what pack though. I don't know. So I am building an exterior wall here. It is going to be deleted. I'm just adding in some of the Eco Living wall decorations, and I'm going to go through and just delete the extra wall. Because I'm not keeping it there. I'm just using it to help snap those into place. So they're nice and easy in place. Righty, and around with the windows. I will change the colour of those windows later because I decided I didn't want to do like a contrast colour there. I wanted to just do the same. So just getting in some hall chairs there and a little table in between, and just putting like a little drinks tray type thing. I think that's the horseradish tray, which I quite like. I think it's nice. One of the horseradish touches I've added in there. It's not a whole heap of horseradish stuff I think I could use in this, but yeah, use bits and pieces. And I was because I'm using Get Together, it's got all the cool pool stuff, but I couldn't put too much in there because it's not a particularly large pool space. But yeah, going in to get the lighting in here. easy as that. And I mean, there's not a heap of like lawn space and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's not like great, I think, for younger kids. But I mean, it's fine. I mean, kids do, don't they? And being a modern build, I didn't go overboard on like flowers or anything like that. I kept it pretty modern with the grasses and whatnot. Going in there, using the Snowy Escape picnic table there, and that's a Seasons couch, isn't it? Is it? I don't know, I couldn't quite see. So just picking out what trees I want there, but those will get deleted because I decided they were too bushy. Those trees are too bushy! No. But of course, there's one of my very favourite little outside trees, which is the Grow Together one. And I'm just going to turn that into like a little garden space down there. As you can see, I've fenced that off. And then this front area is going to be just sort of grass, really. I believe. I don't think I'm going to do anything else. So it's just sort of like, you know, a bit of a lawn where they can sit out the front and have a chat to the neighbours as they walk past if they want to. You know, that sort of thing. Just throwing a few rocks in there as well because, you know, rocks with grasses is kind of very much that modern vibe. So that's what I went with. And I think I add like a little bit more of a garden and along that front area maybe. Let's see what I do. I can't quite remember what I did there. I think I did. Yeah, I did. That looks like I'm setting up for a garden there. I hate how, you know, when you do a copy and paste, it actually deselects your selection for, you know, if you're doing like a particular limited pack build like I am today. Yeah, that's kind of irritating because you have to kind of go through and click them all again. It's like, I hate having to click things all again. So it's just me taking a quick look at how it all looks all together. I've still got a little bit more decoration to do up on this front, the second level front porch. But I'm not, I mean, you know, I'm going to put bits and pieces up there, but I'm not going to go overboard with heaps and heaps of decoration. I mean, there's sort of a limit to how much you can have out there without it looking overly cluttered and silly. So I was thinking about putting a rubbish bin upstairs as well, and I was like, yeah, it's just going to be painful, so I didn't. I changed my mind on that one. So just deciding what I want to put on the side tables up there, outside of the gym on the top area, and then I just was thinking about what to do on this top area here. If I wanted to have the eco-living vertical kind of garden thing. I did, but not that one. I wanted this one. That kind of sits better against the wall. So I went with that one. I think that's quite lovely and worked well against the black wall as well. And then that got me thinking about what I could do down here and whether or not I could have like a little vertical garden area down there. So I put in the vertical planters. So that makes it, you know, like a little bit of a functional area too. I was thinking about the kids and whether or not we could fit any kids stuff in this area, and the answer was no. So I was like, no, I really don't want kids stuff on the front porch, which is going to be, you know, like the thing people look at as they're walking past. And I know it's make-believe, I do, but you know what I'm saying? Those ended up being too high, like they were sticking through the roof. So I moved that to the front and then did like a smaller plant option down there. And then I was looking at what to do for the front door mat. And I think we're just about done on the outside. So just getting some lighting in here. And then you've got the big choice of what I'm going to do for lighting. And I actually decided just to do like the base game square lighting, because that's a sort of a go-to favourite of mine, and I know that I'm not going to have issues with the way it fits, and it won't interrupt the way that the Sims can actually get in the house. So yeah, that's why I went with that. Now then, I had this triangle bar, and then you'll see I put it there, and then I'll end up having to fuss around with it for quite a while because it's kind of sticking out into the bedroom off to the side. I was like, and then I had to like move it and jiggle it, and I eventually got it to sit right. But yeah, because it's all sort of angled and it's kind of like a weird shape of a bathroom. It was a little tricky. I haven't actually play tested it yet. I will go and do that just to make sure that the bath does work okay. I'm sure it will. It's only sort of like a little bit of the edge that's in the wall in the end. Just by the time I tweak it, it's not too bad, but yeah, you gotta check these things because sometimes they don't work. And I just went pretty basic with the bathroom as far as the colours go. I just went with black and white and used light brown for the flooring and walls. I don't keep that floor that way. Yeah, I changed it. It's fine. And what colour? I think I just went with. I actually was really tempted to do that animal print. Really, really tempted. I was like, oh, that's actually quite funky, but I don't know. It's kind of more bedroom lounge than bath vibe, I think, with that particular rug. Oh, this is me fussing around with the bath, trying to get it to not stick through the wall. It's just like this tiny bit too big. Anyway, I got there. But yeah, I ended up going with that particular print, but I was very, very tempted by the animal print. I actually ended up changing the placement of the door into that bathroom, so I will have to switch that around a little bit because I wanted that wall in that bedroom free. And then we have a toddler and just a kid bed going in there. So it is set up for having kids in there anyway. So it's just me deciding on what beds I wanted to go with because I actually really like that little toddler bed. I love that there's like a little roof over it. I think that's super cute. And ended up going with the matching kids bed in a slightly different colour. I went with the yellow rather than the. I think I've got lavender on the toddler bed. And getting your night lights in there, so toy chest, and I used the horse ranch dollhouse. So there's another horse ranch item that I managed to slip in there. And actually this one ended up having a bit of horse ranch stuff in there because I used the horse ranch mat and I think I used a horse ranch picture as well. Because I thought, well, if you're going to have like the little barn dollhouse, it'd be quite cool to have like a bit of a theme with that. So I got the big picture in behind the dollhouse and the mat underneath it as well. So I think that worked out quite nicely actually. Just adding a touch of the horse ranch in there. And then you got the fun of trying to work out what curtain I wanted to use. I actually ended up using those ones. Just I don't get to use them very often, and I thought it kind of worked for the kids' room, so that's what I did. And then that's the horse ranch picture going in the back there, and the decals going on the wall. I used a plain wallpaper just so I could put like decals and stuff around the place. So yeah, so using the plain wallpaper so I can use the decals, and yeah, now we're on to the second bedroom for the downstairs, which is going to be a double bedroom. And this is me just starting to work out what colours and stuff I wanted to do. I initially was thinking about doing yellow, but I didn't do yellow because I was trying to work out what I could match the yellow with that would still fit with the theme of the house, and it was like nothing. It wasn't working, so I ended up going with teal. And the brown, and that ended up looking really nice. I quite like that. So just changing the flooring around and also changing the bed. So I actually ended up using, I think that's all of the Eco Living beds, funnily enough. But they're nice beds, so why not? It's a really nice pack, so why not? I do like building with Eco Living stuff. And and I really liked this horse ranch chair. I like that it has like a pattern on it, so it just sort of broke up the rest of the room a little bit in terms of the greens and stuff, which I really liked. So this is me just realizing I want to use that wall for it like a wardrobe, so I'm just shifting those around, and not much of a tweak really to be made there. And then just bringing that wall out a little bit more so that I can build a little sectioned off walk-in wardrobe. It's quite open up, but a wardrobe there. And I'm just putting a ottoman there on the end of the bed and extending out the windows and the curtains again. Because I think I deleted them because I was going to put the bed on that side of the wall initially, but yeah, changed my mind on that one. And then going for teal, I'm just looking for the hanging unit there that goes with that. And then they weren't snapping properly. And then that was being weird in the way that it was sitting and stuff. So I had to fuss around with that a little bit. It was quite irritating. I'm not quite sure why it was doing that. Because I used them again upstairs and they were absolutely fine, so I don't know this game sometimes. So I was thinking about what sort of mirrors would work in there, but ended up just doing like a whole lot of the big mirrors just in behind, because that was, you know, quite an easy way just to have that all reflective, and you know, they could still put their makeup on and that sort of thing and see what they were doing. And then I'm just putting a little bit of clutter on the dresser. I love that high school years set that has all the little bits and pieces in there. That's one of my favourite little makeup sets to put in there. And I think that's just about that bedroom done, which we've got a rug to go under the bed too, and I used my favourite high school years rug. I love that rug. It's brilliant. And deleted the other rug in the wardrobe because that didn't make sense. Okay, so now we are through to the living area, and I'm actually being really good in this build because quite often I jump around quite a bit from room to room as I find things or think of things, but in this instance I actually did kind of do it room by room. I did do it room by room actually, not kind of. So this is me just having to think about whether or not I want to go this bright, but yeah, I went yes. I'm going yes. I'm going this bright. Let's see what happens. Just changing the windows around a little bit, and this is where I decided that I didn't want to go contrast on the windows, and the windows upstairs are contrast anyway, so I think that worked out quite nicely. It made sense. And I changed the windows around because I was thinking about the TV. Ta-da! There it is. And just using the little coffee table under there, and then just fussing around and trying to decide how I wanted that to sit, and then I decided on the centre. So ta-da! That sits in the centre, and then I just throw in some little flowers there from the Growing Together pack, which is one of my favourite go-to little flowers because they're so pretty, and they've got some really nice colours. So once again, I think that's the Eco Living table, isn't it? And then I'm pretty sure that's High School Years couches, which are again a firm favourite of mine because it's got like a throw on there, and it's got cushions, and they're like really pretty colours as well. So yeah, it's kind of perfect. And I love those egg chairs, but I don't know why they aren't on. You know, they're normally those egg chairs with the hanging egg chairs are quite often outside. So I don't know. I kind of feel like they should be an outside chair option, but because I always forget about them and I never use them because there's something that I think should be outside, really. So anyway, there's quite a few outside-y type stuff that's in the inside section, so it doesn't really matter. We'll get there in the end. So just getting some like shelving units and some plants around the place. I did have a good think about what I wanted to do with the rug. I still wanted to, I felt like the white was too cold, but I wanted to still have like quite a warm colour, and then I settled on the pink because I thought, well, that works really nicely with the green, and it sort of breaks up the green a little bit as well. And then that's why I chose that particular couch there, and I just put like a little pool table behind that couch here just to, I don't know, break it up a little bit in terms of the space, and just make that like a little area off on its own. And then I was thinking about the curtains and what colour I wanted to do there. I was conscious there was a lot of green, so I'm thinking of things that will kind of break that up a little bit. And see, that was being weird as well. Window. Anyway, got there in the end. And I'm not going with the autumn leaf one. I actually really like that curtain with the autumn leaf, but it went with just the plain one. I thought that sort of worked better for the room. And yeah, I think that's just about done. Yeah, we had one more space in there, and I actually ended up going with quite a funky picture for there, so I was quite happy with that. I think that's from Get Famous. Here it is. And that worked well with the room, and then I just needed something in behind this couch as well to go on the wall. And just used the little Growing Together sets. So into the entrance area we go, and I kept this pretty simple. I didn't put a lot in this area, it didn't need it. So I didn't put a lot there. I think just put some shoes there and some hanging stuff, and what else do I do there? Oh yeah, bookshelves. Alrighty, so now we are moving on to the kitchen. So I used the Growing Together fridge and oven with that, and the island living counters actually. I haven't really used a lot of island living, I think, in this build. build. So I use those counters because I really like them, and they were a nice colour as well, in the light brown. And use the grown together stools there. And I mean, I didn't do anything too complicated in the kitchen. I just sort of kept it light and bright and spacious, and I mean, not hugely spacious, but there's room there. So just looking at what I wanted to do on the top, because there's no island living top counters, and if I wanted to do a top counter, but if it's just going to look weird, so I went with no on that. And this is just me looking at what the options are in terms of the shelving and stuff and surfaces, and then wall hangings as well. If there was anything there I could use. So just looking through there. Oh, I actually ended up using this big coffee and tea shelf, which I think is quite pretty. And I think I end up shrinking those down. Oh, no, I don't. So it's something a little bit different from the usual hanging counters. I was like, what are they called? Oh dear. So I'm just getting out my decorations at this point, and I was just finding a shelf. Oh, because I didn't want to change my settings. I was being all the same. So I was just working out what shelf I could use that would snap, so I could put stuff on top of the fridge, rather than using a home decorator shelf, which is what I normally use. But because I wasn't using that back in this build, I was looking for something else without having to change my settings. I am that lazy. I hate having to change my settings. Like, once they're there, I like to keep them there, you know? So, yeah, it's just one of those things that I have, you know? So, just putting in just a few decorations. I didn't like put heaps of clutter in the kitchen. I still wanted to leave it, like, you know, quite functional and stuff. And that's the growing together plant just going in that corner there. And what else are we doing? Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to put, like, the wall hanging. I was looking for the quilt wall hanging that you get with horse ranch, actually, because I think that's a really good size, and there's some really actually pretty designs in there that I thought would work quite nicely in this dining room space. And then there's the eco living plant hanging, and then I was decided on like a little island living coffee tea counter is what I'm sort of drinks counter type thing off the side of the living area there, so you can do your coffee, your tea, or whatever drink there. And then the fun part of deciding which dining table I wanted to go with. So I was initially looking at going with brown, but then I thought that kind of felt too rustic. I was looking at different chair options. I was like, no, that's just not working. So tried a few other things, and anyway ended up with this option here, but then that was like too green, so I will play around with that a bit later. But it is green at the moment. I keep the tables, I just change the colour and the chairs, and that's just me just working through colour issues at this point, and how things are going to sit, and the rugs and that sort of thing. And I wanted to have a nice sort of hanging light above the dining area as well, because it's something where you can put something nice and dangly that is pretty. And I went with the growing together hanging light option there. And then I was looking at some lighting for that corner above the tea and coffee area, and I was looking for something in that corner, but I ended up not putting anything there. But we had sort of I just did decide on curtains instead, so I felt like the room had quite a bit going on already without adding in heaps of other bits and pieces. Oh, then I was deciding on the kitchen, and ended up going with the basic base game blinds on that. So, and this is the colours coming together. So they're working through colours and what I wanted to do there. So again, that felt like too much green, so I'm just sort of working through that at the moment, and changed the table to grey. So I thought that was a good compromise. And we are headed upstairs. Oh my! So we've got the master bedroom upstairs. So I'm just working on some fencing to go along the side of the stairs. Safety. And then so we've got the flooring in there. That's going to be for the bedroom. I'm just using an open sort of archway to get through to the walk-in wardrobe. Not using doors or anything, sliding doors or anything like that for this one. And then I'm just working on the bath. I was going to go with the growing together bath, but I thought, I've got this really nice corner window thing going on. So like a, one of the lower sitting baths would make sense there. And using a couple of counters there just to do like a double sink kind of thing. And getting all the sort of the bits and pieces. I actually used I want to say Snowy Escape counters there because it's got the shelving underneath, so that would make sense. And I'm just moving those around so I can put some things in the middle there of the counters, and I'm getting that right eventually. And then I was thinking about what to put around the rest of the bathroom, just the classics like the towels and the robes. And then I was looking for a hanging plant. The options were really limited, and like most of them were kind of outsidey type stuff, but I eventually found something and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of perfect. And I used a grey blind in there. I didn't want to use black because I thought that was going to be too dark. I really struggled with what rug to put in there. It's kind of like, anything I put in there is just like looked weird or wasn't quite right with the black and the sort of, it's not like gold, it's kind of an orangey gold, isn't it, with that particular bathroom set. But yeah, things didn't look right, but I got there with the basic map there. In the end, so I'm now working on the bedroom and what colour I want to do the wallpaper, so that's always fun. I ended up just going quite plain on the wallpaper, I think, in the end. I don't think I keep that colour in the main bedroom. I don't remember. I think I might change that. But I think I keep it in the wardrobe. So just hanging stuff in there and like a little ottoman and I think, yeah, I just go for like a little stand-up wardrobe as well. Do I? I think that's what I do. I was just looking at like a shelving option actually. And if there was something I can just put in that corner. You know what we need? We actually need like, just a really nice thin shelf. Actually, that shelf ended up working out really well because it had like linen and stuff in it. And I thought, well, that's the kind of thing that you might put in a wardrobe, particularly if you're sort of low on storage. I didn't realise till later that it actually was floating. I just didn't notice. I do fix that. What was I saying? I can't remember now. Oh yeah, what we need is like a narrow shelving, like some really like thin. Yeah, because like a lot of it will sit out too far for like if you're doing like a room like that where you have like the arched doors and then you kind of like have half a grid of width, but then like a lot of the stuff is like more closer to a full grid width than half a grid width. And yes, so having like some thin furniture with like a half grid width would be amazing. I actually think I go with like a pink on the wall in the end. Because I was thinking I just wanted to break up the green a bit. Like I still keep the green sort of theme there, but I wanted to break that up a bit. And I will shift the window that is off to the left there over a little bit because it just felt really unscented. I think I do. Pretty sure I do. Because it kind of felt unscented, to me. Because if you look at how the bed sits and then, it's just not quite right. I think I changed that around anyhow. So then I was just fluffing around with just getting the right rug to go with the bed, and it was a bit of a struggle. I was like, I love this rug, but this is not working at all. It looked too young, I think, for the room I was trying to make. And yeah, as I said, I wanted to keep like the green in there, and contrasting the green with the pink. I mean, that kind of worked downstairs as well. It's actually one of my favourite combos is the green and the pink. I wish that green painting had like a white border rather than like changing colour. Oh well. Because I didn't want to bring like a dark wood in there. So I've changed the bed, and this is the bed that I end up keeping. I'm just going with I believe this is high school years. It looks like high school years. Because it has that really nice pastel kind of colour to it. And this is me just playing with colours at the moment, just trying to decide whether or not I wanted to go with a darker pink, which was possibly an option. I was just trying to work on something that matched the pillows on the bed. If you can see those there, they're sort of more an apricot colour. So it's not exactly pink, it's more apricot that I ended up going with. And I used the white rug there, and this is, I think, where I was starting to get annoyed with the fact that the bed wasn't scented and stuff like that. So, Yeah. I'm like, nope, gotta move it. And then I can click things over into place because it's now centered, so that makes it a lot easier. And I'm just moving the door over as well because it was kind of half covered by the curtains. So just changing those over and putting in a lovely armchair. That's the word I was going for, and just looking for some shelving to go in there. And then I've got like a bit of space along this wall, so I will put in a rocking chair and then like a desk. So using the high school years pastels in the green, so it all sort of matches, and I think that's really nice. And just looking for a painting that will go above there. I actually ended up using the like diplomas because I thought that kind of made sense, like a little office area. And then I repeated the couch that I used upstairs in the main bedroom as well. Then we have this space here. So this is me. I was debating. I was like, is this going to be study? Is this going to be gym? Study, gym, study, gym, study, gym. And yeah, I went with gym. I kept it pretty basic. So I just had the three core pieces of equipment that basically come with base game. And I'm just putting in some music, a TV, and a little fridge. And I think I put a tray, towels on top of that. Right, extra towels in case they are sweaty, need to wipe down, and just some hand towels and stuff there. Some paper towels. That's weird. I do change the colour of the walls because I thought that green was too dark. It didn't really fit with the rest of the house. I didn't dislike it, but it didn't feel like it fit. And just putting some benches in there so you can work out. I need a rest. That was the idea anyway. So I went with a lighter brown on the walls, and then I'm just looking for a rug just to break up the light just a little, and just with something nice and modern from I think Cleaners. And that's our build. So let's take a tour of what we did. I think it's like quite an interesting shape because we've got that side bit that's off on an angle, and then we've got upstairs, downstairs kind of flow as well. But I think it came together quite nicely, and I like the colours. I think they're quite cool. I don't know if I should have done like black all the way down the middle or not. I kind of feel like it would have been quite too dark if I'd done black all through the middle of it. So I think I'm happy with my choices. It ended up being quite nice, and you get like some really nice views of the ocean from there as well. So it kind of makes sense to have that large balcony area up on the top. So you sit up there and enjoy the ocean views, and you've got your little garden area there with your egg chairs, which is kind of sweet. And then going around to the pool area around the side. I mean, it's not a huge pool area or anything like that, but I'm certainly not going to complain about that if I get that nice pool. Wonder if I put an outside bin in there. That's a good question. I did put a mailbox in, so that's good. I can't remember if I put an outside bin downstairs or not. That's okay, I will check that when I do a playthrough. So inside we go, and into our sort of mint kitchen and dining area. It's got that minty pastel kind of vibe, and I think that's really nice with the light coloured wood. I think it's a pretty combo, and with like the creamy colours of the counters, and then through mixing in the grey with the tables and stuff. So yeah, I think it ended up looking really nice. And look at those views, you can look out the window, it's absolutely lovely. Then going through into the living area, and then it's sort of broken up with the pink, and I think having the different coloured curtains in the cream actually really helps break up the green of the walls as well. And I think that carries through with the cream in the furniture. So I think, yeah, it's not too green. I don't feel it's too green. You might disagree, and that's fine. But yeah, I actually really like the balance of the colours, because I think they sort of all blend really nicely, and it's with the light shades and the pastels and stuff. So I think it's really pretty. And I love all the bookshelves and stuff around the place. There's decoration, but it's not like heaps and heaps of decoration, as is my way. And then going through into the kids' room, so we've got a kid's bed and then a toddler bed as well, and we've got plenty of toys and stuff around the place. So got some pieces of shelving, toy chest, and got a unicorn in the corner there, as well as a growth chart, and the little night lights beside the bed. So I think that's really cute. And I put like the little crafting sets on the shelves too. And then through to the bathroom, so I just kept it pretty simple in black, white, and grey, or black, light brown and grey, with a bit of white. And then going into the teal bedroom downstairs. So I think I really like this. It's a nice mix of a darker teal and a lighter green. And I think bringing in the darker wood on the floor was probably a good idea as well, just to break up the creaminess of it all, because I mean it is quite creamy throughout the house, so it's creamier upstairs, and I think it would have been too samey with the upstairs bedroom. So having the darker wood downstairs made a good decision. So this is the bedroom upstairs, the master bedroom. So it's got the ensuite and the walk-in wardrobe and a little office and plenty of seating up there. I think it's quite lovely, and there's access through the master bedroom out to the gym as well, which is off to the side. We're not going to take a look at the gym in this tour because it's pretty basic, and I forgot. So you'll just have to remember it from when we built it. But we'll just take a quick look into the ensuite here, and I kept it the same as the ensuite downstairs with the black, and using the lovely bath there off to the side. And here we are at the end of our tour. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. I love getting a bit of building in, so catch you on the next one. Bye!